live via satellite from the Emerald Sound Studios on Music Row. This is Nashville Live, brought to you by Chevy Trucks, offering you a chance to win a 1992 Chevy truck from Nashville Live. Acme Boots, quality, comfort, and style from the world's largest boot makers. This is Moon Mullins inviting you to call in from all over North America and talk to our guest tonight live and direct in our studio, Glen Campbell. Hello, Glen.
Hello, Moon. It's good to be here.
It's great to have you here. Our number for you to call is 1-800-635-STAR. That's 635-7827. It's toll-free. And we have a complimentary copy of Glen Campbell's Show Me Your Way for you when your call is aired on tonight's show. Now spend the next 90 minutes talking and listening to Glen Campbell. We're going to take calls in just a moment, Glen, but let's start with a song, shall we?
Wonderful. I'd love it.
I first met you in 1969, and what's so revolting about that is that Andrew, the guy that's in there answering the phones, was born that year. But this was the big hit. This is Wichita Lineman by Glen on Nashville Live. Wichita Lineman. Glen and I were just sitting here reminiscing about Jimmy Webb, who wrote that song, and many others way back at the beginning, still writing for you these years, and just how haunting all that was. And then I'd forgotten an album that perhaps some of our listeners might recall, one MacArthur Park by Richard Harris several years ago. And how old was Jimmy Webb when he did that?
He was 19 years old when he wrote, produced, and arranged that. Went to London, put Richard Harris on it.
Man, that's just obscene, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
They did that track in L.A., did the whole track live. I mean, two takes, and no stopping, no splicing, no nothing. It was just... Jimmy writes marvelous music.
Well, if you've never heard it, and you could find MacArthur Park somewhere in a record store, a collector's item, or something like that, it'd be worth getting just to know that someone was that talented, that young.
That's right.
Glen Campbell guesting with us. Our number 1-800-635-STAR. We're off to Dallas, where K-Plex is, and Doug is listening to us tonight. Hey, Doug, here's Glen Campbell.
How you doing this evening?
Hey, wonderful. I was in Dallas last night.
Oh, yeah, the weather's been a little bit better down here lately.
Yes, it was wonderful there.
Great. And listen, my question is, I'd like to know how many years you've been in the music business, and how old was you when you first started?
I actually started, professionally, we were in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 1953. I was 15 years old. With my Uncle Dick Bills, we had a radio station, KOB. We had a show called Noonday Roundup. And I'll never forget, Farron Young came through. It was the Farron Young show, and with his special guest, Elvis Presley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I went and saw the show. It was incredible.
Yeah. Which one impressed you the most?
Elvis. I knew Farron. I was doing all the Farron song, all the things he had done at that time. But Elvis, that's the first time I'd seen Elvis. First time I'd ever heard a lot of the stuff he did. Mm-hmm. But Elvis and the Three People were just... That was the most dynamic thing I'd ever seen, Moon.
Yeah, and that was in Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
KOB is still there.
Yes, it is.
Let's go to Cedar Rapids, where K-Hawk is, and Gary's listening to us tonight. Gary, here's Glen Campbell.
Hi, Glen.
Hey, Gary.
I enjoy all your music and a longtime fan of yours.
Well, thanks.
Okay, my question is, who is your favorite writers for your songs?
Well, my favorite writer is Jimmy Webb. After that, it would be, John Hartford wrote Gentle on My Mind. Larry Weiss wrote Rhinestone Cowboy. Alan Toussaint is really a fabulous writer. He wrote a lot of great things. Freedom for the Stallion, a lot of things for the Pointer Sisters, and he wrote Southern Nights for Glen Campbell.
Yeah. Well,
he didn't write it for me. I just adopted it.
And it became your own. It became
my own.
Glen is our guest, 1-800-635-STAR. Call in and talk to Glen tonight. While you're on the line, be sure and register for our Hooked on Fishing prize package. This week, it's a Berkeley New Kinetic 43 MX graphic rod. Well, we'll make this drawing at noon on Friday, but you can call any time before that at 1-800-635-STAR. Brought to you by the Sports Fishing Promotion Council and Berkeley, Shakespeare, South Bend, and Zebco Manufacturers. We'll be right back with Glen on Nashville Live. Nashville Live, where you talk to the stars. Glen Campbell is taking your calls tonight. Dan Seals will be here next Sunday. 1-800-635-STAR is the number for you to call while you're on the line. Be sure and sign up for our Gibson guitar we're giving away this week. It's a Chet Atkins SST model valued at $1,200. Glen, back to one of your hit songs, 1975.
Oh, I love it. Was that guitar the one in the hall that I put in the back of the car?
Exactly that one.
I like that guitar.
It'll be one with Glen Campbell's fingerprints on it. Assuming we get it back. Here's the Rhinestone Cowboy, Glen Campbell on Nashville Live. Glen Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy in Hamilton, Ontario. Fern is listening to us tonight on Cham. Hey, Fern.
Hey.
Hey, Glen.
Hi, how you doing up there?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Good.
All right, I got a couple of things for you here.
Okay.
I heard a few things here and there about, actually, I'm curious to know, were you once a member of the legendary Beach Boys, or did you just, fill in type of thing?
Yes, I was a member for about a year. I did their sessions up through 67. In fact, Pet Sound's the last one I played on. And I was on the road with them in 65, the last part of 64 and 65.
And really, but even before that, you were playing a lot of sessions in California. And
yeah,
so forth, right?
I was doing their session. I was doing Jan and Dean's. Just name all the old Phil Spector stuff.
Shane is on the line with us. Shane's listening to us tonight on KNFO in Waco. Hi, Shane.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, Shane.
All right, I got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
All right, number 1, did your family inspire you into becoming a country singer?
Go ahead and ask question number 2 also.
And how did you go about becoming a country singer?
Yeah, my family, they played and sang because when I was born and raised, we had no electricity. We was out in the country. We were so far out in the country, nobody lived behind us. And Mom and Dad played and sang. They all played and sang. I started out on the mandolin, and I actually hooked up with my uncle's band in Albuquerque, New Mexico when I was 15. And I've been doing it since then.
You had a group called the Green River Boys. I don't know if that was really a group or not, but at least...
That was just a friend of mine, Dale Fitzsimmons. He sang the bass, and I overdubbed all the harmonies, and that was the Green River Boys. And
was that like the first country thing you actually... professionally on record?
Yes, it was. In fact, it was James Burton playing dobro, Joe Osborne was playing bass, and... it was a fun thing to do, because, I got to do... My first 2 years of contract at Capitol Records, I had to do American music songs. I didn't know it until later, of course, and that's why I did Too Late to Worry, Too Blue to Cry album, and that The Old White Mule of Mine, that Green River Boys album.
When you say you had to do American music songs, that was a publishing company owned by Capitol Records?
No, it was a publishing company that owned Glen Campbell at the time, because they had Crest Records, which I'd had to turn around and look at me out of.
Oh, okay, so they owned you at the time.
They owned me, yeah.
So you had to do those songs that they had publishing on.
Exactly, that they had publishing on.
Tell us a little bit about Turn Around, Look at Me. Now, this was the first song that you had recorded that was a hit.
Right. Ernie Freeman did the arrangement, and I worked a lot with Ernie after that, just doing studio work. Notably, Stranger in the Night, Sinatra. But I wrote half of Turn Around, Look at Me with a guy named Jerry Capehart, and he said, I owe BMI some money, which is broadcast music, which you could borrow from him, and you still can. And he let me put it in my name so I can pay him back, and then when we get the royalties in, I'll pay you. I said, fine. I never saw any of that money. He said, sue me. I said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. You'll get your just due reward.
It's somewhere out there tonight, Jerry.
Yeah, I know. Too bad.
Let's hear something that's kind of interesting. This is a tune. Well, I tell you what, we'll play this and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about it. Here's the William Tell Overture by the fantastic guitarist Glen Campbell. No vocal on this. Right. Nashville. Thing. Right. Have any other songs written by Italians?
No,
actually,
Rossini, 1829. Yeah, I was there. I remember that.
You were telling me there's a video on this, or was?
Yeah, I did a film thing on it with Jay Silverheels. I did the Lone Ranger, and then had the extra that I used in True Grit to do the falls. With the horse rear up, he falls off, and it's just a cute thing I do. I've started using it again. I didn't use it for a long time, but it's a good showstopper. It's a break from the norm.
Any idea where the video is or the film is?
Oh yeah, I still use it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
with you and Jay Silverheels. That's great. So you got to play the Lone Ranger then?
Yes, sir.
How exciting! You got to do something all of us dreamed about. Here's Paul listening to us tonight on KSJ out of Mobile, Alabama. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Glenn, how you doing?
Hey, Paul. Good.
I wanted to start out by saying how much I really enjoyed your animated video for Living in a House of Love.
Oh, thanks.
And the question was, how's your golf game coming?
Oh, it's about like that animated video. It's animated. I've been playing so bad if I had a heart attack, they'd count it a stroke.
Do you still have the tournament?
No, I
carried your name.
I moved to Phoenix in '81, and I did the tournament up to '83. Got the PGA at Riviera, and then of course the Japanese bought Riviera, which is fine and well, and they canceled my lifetime membership that they'd given me.
So those only last as long as whoever holds the membership
right.
wants it to.
But it was fun doing it. But I like Phoenix. Phoenix is a great place to live.
How do you go about having your own golf tournament? I mean, because you see that sometimes, a Bob Hope Invitational and all that sort of thing.
Well, Bob Hope started that tournament with I think Chrysler at the time. The Bob Hope, Chrysler was their sponsor, Ford was their sponsor, but the Junior Chamber of Commerce asked me if I would do it when I started the Good Time Hour because they wanted to get it on television. Mm-hmm. And the only way they could do it, really, was to have Glen Campbell do it, and then CBS would take the tournament because at that time it wasn't very profitable to do golf tournaments on TV.
So it wasn't so you could just play golf whenever you wanted to?
No, right.
Here's David listening to us tonight out of Bristol on WXBQ. Hello, David.
Hello.
Here's Glenn.
Hello, David.
Yeah, I want to know if you could do a duet with somebody that you've never done before, who would you like to do it with?
Oh, a duet that I have never done before. Oh, there'd be 2 or 3 people. I'd say Barbra Streisand or probably Ray Charles, if I had my picks.
Ray Charles, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I got a great song. If Ray's listening, we'll do it one time, Ray.
Wow, radio in Pensacola, and Michelle's listening to us. Michelle, here's Glen Campbell.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle.
I was wondering, was it hard for you to get started in the music business? Because I've been took for so much money so far, and has that ever happened to you?
Well, no, just will turn around and look at me, actually. That's the only thing I was taken for. No, I just kind of, I went west. I kept moving west for some reason. I stopped off in Albuquerque for about 8 years and then went out to the West Coast. Got a job with the Champs, and actually, I got into it through my guitar playing, doing sessions and doing studio work. That's where I got to know most of the producers, most of the record company executives, because they'd be hanging around the sessions, especially with the big guys. They'd always come down and see how the session was going, you know. And that's actually how I got it. No, I've actually never been taken. The music business has been very, very good to me.
Yeah.
It really has.
It really has treated you right.
It really has.
But some others haven't been treated so well.
I'm sorry about that, Michelle.
Just kind of like in life, I guess. Here's a song, though, that really bespeaks volumes about love and doing things right. It's a great Glen Campbell song, A Lady Like You, on Nashville
I like
Live.
this.
There's old Johnny One Take. I couldn't believe this. This was done in one take.
Yeah, I love that, man. I really like to do that. If you hit it the first time, you know, it's kind of like throwing a bullseye, you know, playing darts. You hit the bullseye, don't throw another one.
Whoop, I got it.
Yes.
Yeah. Glen Campbell, A Lady Like You. Lots more Glen songs coming up. Right now, call 1-800-635-STAR so you can talk to Glen. While you're on the line, be sure and sign up for our 1992 Chevy truck. We give it away on the 8th of May. Sorry, it is for USA residents only. You have to be 21 years of age at least and have a valid driver's license to get qualified. And again, that date is May 8th, so call in now and get signed up. We'll be back in just a little bit with Gentle on My Mind, another great Glen Campbell hits on Nashville Live.
This is WCMS FM 100, WCMS AM 1050,
Glen
Norfolk.
Campbell is with us tonight. Next week, Dan Seals joins us. Our number 1-800-635-STAR to talk to Glen, just like Deb is going to do out of K-Hawk in Cedar Rapids tonight. Deb, here's Glen Campbell.
Hello, Deb.
I think Deb has left us. Tim and Cham in Hamilton, Ontario is on the line with us. Tim, hello.
Hello, Mr. Campbell.
Hey-yo, how you doing, Tim?
Fine, thank you. I want to ask you, how many other jobs did you have before you got into country music?
Well, I grew up farming. Then I was an insulator helper for about 2 weeks in Houston. And started playing with a little group there. And I worked at a service station for about a week. I almost smashed my thumb off. And then I just went from there. I said, nope, guitar was it. Me and manual labor didn't get along.
Doing something with your thumb, it's not going to be getting
That's
it
right.
smashed,
I might mash a finger off and couldn't play guitar. So
that was Delight, Arkansas. Delight, is that the
Delight.
Delight, Arkansas, which is located where?
That's central Arkansas, the southwest central, I guess you could say.
Still go back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get back every once in a while, see the folks.
See the old home place.
Let's go back to Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia tonight, CHFX. And out of Dartmouth, here's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Oh, wait, here's Brian right here. Hello, Brian. Are you with us?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
Good.
Good. Just want to say I'm been a big fan of yours for years.
Oh, thank you. I'm a big fan of Nova Scotia because I did a duet with Anne Murray on my latest Christian album.
Yeah, which we will hear later.
Yeah. You got a question?
Yes, I said, what was your most embarrassing moment on stage?
On the stage?
We get this question a lot, and now here's a laugh. Now, this means that you must know one. You got one to tell.
Your fly open. That's the same thing. I was doing, it was in Vegas, and it also happened to me on a TV show, which is the same thing. But they kept pointing and laughing, you know, and I didn't know. Because before you go in, you'll reach in and you'll pull your shirt tail down. And I didn't zip my fly up. That is about the most embarrassing things ever happened on stage. Forgetting lyrics or something like that don't bother me, or missing licks. But that just embarrassed me a little.
One of the things, did it ever embarrass you or anything when like Johnny Carson would do the Rhinestone Cowboy thing and say, "Hi, I'm Glen Campbell"?
No, I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
you know, as long as they talk about you.
Got a kick out of that, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think Rhinestone stands on its own 2 feet.
Yeah.
It was the #1 song in '75 across the board. You know, country, pop, rock, and to have him do that, you know, he never did it to any other song. So Rhinestone must be pretty special.
The great Johnny Carson to do something like that.
Yeah, Carson said he learned one thing in life: don't get attached to houses.
Oh, took me a moment to guess on that. Yes, I understand what you mean when it comes to Johnny Carson. Glen Campbell is guesting with us tonight on Nashville Live. Let's hear the great Gentle on My Mind. Here it is, and we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards on Nashville Live. Gentle on My Mind, the third most performed song in music history. And Glen Campbell was the first to record it. It didn't really hit all that big the first time around, did it?
No, it didn't. When I started using it for the... Tommy Smothers picked it out. He thought gentle on my mind was a great phrase, and it is. I mean, to know you're gentle on somebody's mind is a great feeling. And we started using it as a theme song on the Summer Brothers Smothers show, and I continued it with the Good Time Hour course.
Then it got kind of reestablished, and then you sang it on all the live shows. And
big album, that big.
Yeah. You were saying something about that this recording is not quite right. There's something in there.
Well, it's a work track, work vocal. And Voyle Gilmore, who's responsible for the Kingston Trio on Capitol, he just loved it. And I didn't know he was doing it. He went in and had Al DeLory take out the stuff, and they released it like in 3 or 4 days after the session.
So the only thing that stayed was your vocal from the original recording, and then they put everything else in that was new.
They didn't put anything in that was new. They were just Doug Dillard and Joe Osborne, and
that's it.
Richie Foster playing drums, and Leon Russell was playing piano, and that was it. And I was singing just a track and a vocal. But it sure holds up over the years.
It has.
I'm very thrilled with it.
You ever find yourself just humming it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do. Oh, that's great. Melissa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi,
Melissa.
Eau Claire, Wisconsinite, listening on WAXX. Here's Glen Campbell.
Hi. I just like to say that you have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you, Melissa.
Have you done any other movies besides True Grit?
I did Strange Homecoming with Robert Culp. I did a thing called The Cool Ones with Phil Harris, Roddy McDowell, and the gal that played Bridget, Deborah Wiley. And my new movie will be out April 3rd. It's called Rockadoodle.
Rockadoodle.
Yeah, it's a yodeling Elvis, and it's a good story and a great animated film, and part live performance, part film performance with people, and the rest animated. And it's a wonderful film. You can take your family to, Melissa, and enjoy.
This is coming out just right around the corner, then.
Yes, it's coming out.
It's animated. So what part do you play?
I'm a rooster. Ellen Green's my love life in it, and she's a pheasant. And I play the king with Colonel Pinky's my manager, and we do B-movies and so forth.
So this rooster thinks he's something like Elvis, huh?
Well, yeah, yodeling Elvis. You know?
Yodeling Elvis.
Cockadoodling Elvis, you know.
Yeah. Who's the studio on this?
Gowen. Gowen Studios are releasing it. And they're releasing it from 12 to 1,500 theaters on April 3rd.
There seems to be more and more movies coming out now. Not enough yet, but still more and more that the whole family can go see.
Exactly. I think they're tired of the other things, the blood and gore and the sex and the violence.
Yep.
Cussing.
We have, in fact, something that is exact opposite of that is your new CD, which we're giving away to those that get on the air tonight. This is Show Me Your Way, tape and CD, gospel, and not the first one you've done. You've done a number of these.
Yeah, I did one on Capitol, which Capitol wasn't geared for gospel at the time, and did No More Nights won the Dove Award for me in '87.
And the Dove Award is a gospel award, right?
Yes, for best gospel album by a secular artist. It was.
Yeah.
This one is nominated this year, so I hope we win something with it.
I do too. This song that we're going to play is just so autobiographical.
It is.
Yeah. And you didn't write this.
No, Phil Driscoll wrote it for me. I think he wrote it about his own life and put my towns in it and made it Glen Campbell's song more or less.
So it's both of you, huh?
Yeah, it's both of us. And only my towns are in. It's from Galveston to Hollywood. I played the Presswood Baptist Church in Dallas last night, and it was just fabulous. Dallas, Texas is a great town. And it was just amazing. 2:30 in the afternoon, you got 4,000 people out there. And that night we had they was in the rooms around it that we couldn't get in the auditorium, watching it on the big screen. They do a great job down there. Pastor Jack Graham from Toadsuck Ferry, Arkansas.
Oh, that's a whole other story. We'll get into that in a moment. We got to hear this song.
Okay.
Here's Jesus and Me on Nashville Live. Our greatest love story, Jesus and Me. Great song, Glenn.
Thank you.
We'll hear some more from that album in just a little bit. Great. Pick up a Chevy truck. Call 1-800-635-STAR. Sign up to win our $15,000 Chevy truck from Nashville Live. We'll be right back. Nashville Live, where you talk to the stars, and tonight we have the pleasure of talking to Glen Campbell. We'll get right back to Glen. We want to welcome a new station to our affiliates. We have Classic Country KKYX in San Antonio now. They've been with us all along, but now they're at 106.7 FM and always at 680 AM in San Antonio. So welcome AM and FM in San Antonio. Also want to say a happy birthday greeting to Saul Safian. Saul's with the William Morris Agency here in Nashville, and he's having a birthday today, and we wish him a very special day. Back to the phones we go, and here's Artie listening to us out of New Glasgow, Nova Scotia tonight on CHOQ. Artie, are you there?
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Artie, fine.
Yeah, I like your music.
Thank you.
And my question is for you, what would your second choice of career be?
Oh, golf. You know, it's... I love to play golf. It's just if I had the talent, I don't have the talent, I don't think, to be a pro golfer. But
if you had your druthers,
if I'd have had my druthers, I'd have been playing golf.
You know, you look like a professional golfer. Really? I mean, you.
Don't Sam Snead.
Well, I was thinking, like, I don't know these golfers as well as you, I guess, but there's some guy out there, I mean, like a Johnny Miller. I mean, you kind of have that look, you know. Yeah.
Same kind of hair, Dan. Yeah.
You've been a great professional golfer.
Thank you.
Virginia out of Topeka, listening to us tonight on WDAF 61 Country in Kansas City. Say hello to Glen Campbell.
Hello, Glenn.
Hi, how you doing, Jenny?
My husband said to say hi.
Well, tell him.
My son is 2 years old, and he really loves Gone, Gone, Gone. And where'd you get the name of that title at?
Harlan Howard wrote that song, and I'm glad you did, because that's some of the finest guitar playing with a couple of friends of mine that I've heard on a record in the last, well, probably ever, I'll tell you, with Reggie Young and, Pat Flynn playing the flat top. And I really do appreciate that. Oh, by the way, take him to see Rockadoodle when it comes out April 3rd.
And that was an old Lefty Frizzell song that you changed the lyrics to, but to update it to a plane instead of a train. Because
Harlan said, I didn't like that at first, but when the royalty checks started coming in, he changed his tune.
It was okay. Speaking of royalty checks, we mentioned Gentle on My Mind was the third most performed song in music history. Here's number 4 right behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Glen Campbell, By the Time I Get to Phoenix on Nashville Live. Yes. It's not a bad little song. They say you'll be doing that along with all your other hits in Branson this year.
Amen.
You got a big thing going on. The Grand Palace is opening.
Right.
You and Louise Mandrell will be co-hosting.
Co-hosting. That's really going to be a lot of fun, because I get to see people I hadn't played with and worked with in so long. You know, 6-day weeks. You're off on Sundays, and like. Marie Osmond will be there 3 days. Roger Miller will be there the next 3 days. Waylon and Jesse will be there. The Oak Ridge Boys, Statlers. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I know it. I mean, to Branson, we have a station, KRKZK, that's in Branson, listening to us tonight. And there's so many performers and performances that come in there, but this is extraordinary. I mean, this takes Branson to a new height.
Yeah, it does.
So, it's really great. The Grand Palace opening up, and your first show begins May 1st. That's the grand opening, right?
Right.
May 2nd, it'll be Louise Mandrell and Glen Campbell together. Have they announced the guest yet for that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's a surprise.
It's going to be a surprise.
Because I think the initials are RT.
Let's see now. Who would that be? Mike,
Taylor,
are you on the line with us?
I sure am.
Mike is listening to us on KKYX in San Antonio Classic Country.
Hey, Mike.
Glenn?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good.
That's good. Glenn, my question is this. Out of all of the female artists, I'm going to put you on the spot now.
All right.
Out of all of the female artists that you've ever worked with, which did you enjoy working with the most?
All of them. See, I got out of that one.
Oh, that's a political answer.
I tell you, Bobby Gentry was great to work with. She really was. Anne Murray. I guess singing-wise, I would probably think... but then there's Emmylou Harris. You know, boy, it's so hard to name a one out of that, because Anne Murray's a fabulous singer. Emmylou Harris is a fabulous singer. We did a song called You Are on, I think it was still within the Sound of My Voice album. What a great duet that was.
It is. It
was a treat for people who bought the album, I think.
Be difficult to name one.
Yes.
Glen Campbell guesting with us tonight. Remember, when we put your call on the air, you win Show Me Your Way, the new gospel album from Glen Campbell. We'll be hearing a selection from that, singing with a fantastic Anne Murray before the show is over.
Oh, good.
Call now at 1-800-635-STAR, and we will be right back on Nashville Live. Nashville Live, where you talk to the stars. Glen Campbell is our star tonight. Be ready to call next week for Dan Seals. While you're on the line, be sure and sign up for our Gibson guitar we're giving away. Along with that guitar, you win plane tickets for 2 to Nashville and 2 days and nights at the Union Station Hotel. Glen Campbell, our guest tonight, we have something special for you. We want to present you with a certificate good for Dan Post Boots.
Oh, great.
As being a guest with us tonight, Dan Post is a sponsor of ours. And I know we were chatting a little bit earlier, and I think it would be just fine if you gave that to Kim and let her get her nice
I'll send
ladies,
my foot measurement.
Ladies' boots. Oh, you're going to keep them yourself.
Kim is not a cowgirl. She's a Southern girl like to wear brogans. You know?
Yeah, all right. Then you can wear them yourself. But please accept that with our compliments.
Oh, thank you very much. I will.
Glen Campbell guesting with us tonight. Let's go back to Moncton, New Brunswick this time, and to CSQM, and here's Ann. Hi, Ann. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Ann.
Hi.
You
got a question?
Yeah. What was your first impression of Anne Murray?
First impression of Anne Murray.
Oh, I was really impressed with her singing, with her voice, with her trueness. Anne can sing any part. It doesn't matter. Lead, first, second, third, fourth, fifth parts. It doesn't matter. She's just a very, very talented gal.
Another very talented woman is Linda Ronstadt.
Amen.
And
Amen.
You actually have heard from her in the last few years, right?
Yeah, she called and said, she pulled over. She heard Still Within the Sound of My Voice. She's driving down Sunset there and pulled over by Doheny and Sunset and just sat there and listened to Still Within the Sound of My Voice. So she went in and cut Still Within the Sound of My Voice and Adios and another Jimmy Webb song. And that's the first time she'd cut a Jimmy Webb song. I was so pleased.
And it was from hearing your version of Still Within the Sound of My Voice.
Yeah, sure, on the country station in L.A.
Here it is. Let's see. Maybe Linda's
song.
listening tonight. She can hear it again. Here's Glenn on Nashville Live. Still Within the Sound of My Voice, Glen Campbell guesting with us tonight on Nashville Live. Here's James out of WJLM Roanoke. Hello, James.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi, James.
I got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
First one is, what was your childhood like, and how did your life change after you started with your uncle's band?
Oh, well, actually, I stopped. I grew up, without electricity. We didn't have a car. We were farmers, We plowed with the mules and the horses, and we were poor. We were so poor, our folks couldn't afford laxatives, so they'd set us on the pot and tell us ghost stories. And after I think my first check that I got in my uncle's band, I think was $80 for the week, because we'd worked a lot that week. Got a radio show, and I filled up on chicken breast and chicken legs and ice cream, because all I thought of a chicken had then was a neck and a wing.
Mm. Mary is listening to us tonight in Davenport on WLLR. Mary, here's Glen Campbell.
Hi, Glenn.
Hello, Mary.
Hello. My boyfriend has a childhood memory of you singing Little Toy Train.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever record it? I cannot find it anywhere.
It was on the Christmas album called Glen Campbell Christmas Album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Roger Miller wrote that. Yeah, I did that on the TV show on Kane,
I would think you could
little boy at the time.
I would think you could find that album at a collecting type place where they keep
probably. They re-released most of them, and I don't think Little Toy Trains was on it. Which it should have been. Yeah, they re-released it this year. It's called Merry Christmas, Glen Campbell on CD. But I don't think Little Toy Trains was on it. But that is a good song.
No, real neat little song. Glen Campbell guesting with us tonight. Let's hear another one of those hits. Here's Southern Nights on Nashville Live. Oh, yeah, Southern Nights. That is Glen Campbell. Glen is guesting with us tonight on Nashville Live. Be sure and call in and talk to him at 1-800-635-STAR. And while you're waiting on the line, why don't you sign up for our Let's Go Fishing prize package? What we have for you this week is Berkeley's new Kinetic 43 MX Graphite Rod. We draw it Friday at noon, so call anytime before that. Brought to you by the Sports Fishing Promotion Council and Berkeley, Shakespeare, South Bend, and Zebco Manufacturers. We'll be right back on Nashville Live. Nashville Live, where you talk to the stars. Glen Campbell in our Music Row studio taking your calls tonight. Dan Seals will join us next week. 1-800-635-STAR. And while you're on the line, register for the Gibson guitar. We give it away this week, so you want to be sure and call, and you can do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. WQYK in Tampa, Florida, and listening to us tonight on his mobile phone is Dennis. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
Hey, good. Man, them mobiles come through. Hi, Dan.
It's all right. Hey, Glenn, I got a question for you. I believe back in around 1985, you recorded a song by the name of A Lady Like You.
Right.
I'm curious to know who wrote that and what album it's on.
It's on a Letter to Home album, and Jim Weatherly and Keith Stegall wrote that, I think. And that's a great song.
We played that a little bit earlier on the program, and we'll have a few more great Glen Campbell songs to play like this one. This is the one where Steve Warner joined up with you on this.
Oh, yeah, Steve. You know, that's a strange story. Charlie Pride said, we ought to cut that, Glenn. I said, great. And I cut the track in Charlie's key. Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, Charlie just got to deal with 16th Avenue Records or something. And Rosine didn't think it was a good career move or something for Charlie.
you and Charlie were going to sing together?
Yeah, we were going to sing it. I think it had been, if it had come out on the record, it had been black and white.
So instead, it was Steve Warner.
Instead, I called Warner and said, you want to do a duet with me? He said, I'd love to. We were nominated for a Grammy for this.
Well, that was the end result of this hit. Here it is on Nashville Live.
Most played song in '87.
All right. The hand that rocks the cradle, Glen Campbell and Steve Warner. Bob, you with us, sir?
Yes.
Bob listens to us tonight in Salina, Kansas on KYEZ.
Yes, Glenn. I have 2 questions. I wanted to tell you, my wife and I used to watch you on TV, and we enjoyed you very much.
We
enjoy your music. But what is your favorite memories of your favorite songs when you first started in the music business?
Oh, my favorite memories was actually going back to doing the Too Late to Work, Too Blue to Cry album with the 30 voices and 20 strings. I said, boy, howdy, I've got it now.
Was that live? That was done live then?
Yeah.
Everybody in the studio at once?
Yeah, everybody in the studio at once. That was just really a big kick for me. That's one of my favorite memories.
Burning Bridges came off that album? I was like,
now, Burning Bridges was later.
That was later. Here's Deborah listening to us tonight out of Eau Claire, WAXX. Hello, Deborah.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Deborah.
How are you doing?
Wonderful.
My question is, have you ever performed on Broadway?
No. I never have. I had a offer from Pierre Cossette to go back this last December and do 3 weeks on the Will Rogers thing, but I didn't have time to do the rehearsal, so I turned it down. I don't know if I can handle Broadway or not.
Yeah?
Yeah, that'd be different. I might do it one of these days, but I haven't so far. Thanks, Deb.
Well, here's another way of getting to New York. Listening to us on 103.5 WYNY, here's Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hello, how you doing?
Fine, Mark.
I got a couple, actually 2 questions.
Okay.
Question number 1. When you started doing country music, was it the Christian music or was it secular music?
It was secular. You're Too Late to Wear Too Blue to Cry was the first thing I did, and then I did the I don't even know what came out after that. Once More, that was like a Not So Hatra type of thing is what I called it.
Not So Hatra.
But then it was the Green River Boys, the Bluegrass album, and then Too Late to Worry album, and I got into folk stuff, doing Shindig.
Just north of Mark here in Hartford is WWYZ, and listening tonight is Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
My question for you is, what's the biggest change you've seen in country music?
The biggest change, I think, would be country rap, probably, but that hadn't come along yet.
Thank goodness.
There really hasn't been a tremendous change in country music. It's usually basically the same thing. I really like the music of I think the late 60s when Haggard was so big. I like the country music because it was more, it was played across the board a little more. I think I had a broader scope, but there's a lot more country stations now, and I think that's why country music is so big. That's a great question. Changes, I don't know, boy. If you got a good song in country music, you're going to have a hit with it. If you hadn't, you're not, unless you're real hot.
Yeah, and it's always been that way. That's
yes,
one thing. It hasn't changed. Here's another great Glen Campbell song, I Have You, on Nashville Live. Glen Campbell, and I Have You. What a nice song. Well, like a lot of your songs are just great, beautiful melodies, and you know that.
Well, I really like good songs. I've been fortunate enough to cut some good ones.
We've talked a lot about the lyrics tonight, but we don't really talk that much about the melody, and that's also so important.
So the words are good, too.
Yeah, the words count a lot. Yeah. Glen Campbell guesting with us on Nashville Live as we broadcast on the greatest radio stations in the U.S. and Canada. And we'll be right back with Glen after this on Nashville Live. We're back on Nashville Live with Glen Campbell, coming down to the waning moments as we go back to the phone. Judy's listening to us in Hartford tonight on WWYZ. Judy, hello.
Hi, it's Jeannie.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Glenn.
How are you?
For you.
Wonderful.
I love your bagpipe playing.
Oh, boy, you're one of the few on that market.
Well, it also happens to be that I'm Scottish.
Oh, me too. Thanks.
So how's the bagpipe playing doing? I mean,
wonderful.
Still doing it?
Oh, I'm still doing it. Yeah.
Still doing Amazing Grace?
Still doing Amazing Grace. I love it.
Debbie out of Selma, Alabama, WDXX. Here's Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Debbie.
And I used to listen to you a long time ago, and we loved it then, still do now.
Well, thank you so much.
I have a question for you.
All right.
I heard that you turned your life around here a while back. Could you tell me about that?
Oh, yes, I did. I was baptized December 22nd, 1981, and I'm 11 years old now. And, yes, Jesus Christ has turned my life around. Off of drugs, and drank for 5 years off of the alcohol, and I'm off of smoking a week and a day. And that's all the questions I'm going to ask on that. Or answer on that. Yay!
Yeah, congratulations on all of that.
Oh, thank you.
Was this like a rediscovery of something maybe from your youth? Or?
Oh, yeah. You know, we was all breastfed, and Mama went to church every Sunday, so you was in church if you ate on Sunday morning. You know, that was it. And that's the first thing my first memories are people singing. So I think that's a great memory.
Well, now let's go over again all the things that are coming up. You've got the appearance at the Grand Palace coming up from Branson. You got the movie coming out April 3rd,
Right.
which is Rockadoodle. Rockadoodle with Glen Campbell in the lead role.
As
At
a
least the
rooster.
voice of, anyway. And, of course, all the great music that's in this new album and CD called Show Me Your Way. Let's hear the lead song from this, or the title song from this. And Anne Murray joins you on this.
Yes.
Anne Murray joins Glen Campbell on this song. This is called Show Me Your Way on Nashville Live. Show Me Your Way, Glen Campbell. What a nice song.
Oh,
and the title from this. A lot of good cuts on this, so Show Me Your Way. Hopefully you can pick that up at a record store near you. Glenn, thanks for being with us tonight.
My pleasure.
Time has zipped by, and it's been great having you with us.
It really has. I enjoyed it.
We appreciate it. Nashville Live is brought to you in part by Dan Post Boots. Handcrafted cushion comfort in every step. Chevy Trucks, offering you a chance to win a 1992 Chevy truck from Nashville Live. 1-800-635-STAR, anytime, day or night.
This is WCMS FM 100, WCMS AM 1050, Norfolk.